Securing a business line of credit for your business can be an absolute game changer in the amount of growth that you can experience inside of your business. This tutorial video will walk you through a detailed set of instructions to show you exactly the best way to go about getting a business line of credit for any size business, including your own. More specifically, today we'll be talking about a specific firm that has actually made the overall world of financing so much more accessible to both small, large, and medium-sized businesses. This firm is none other than Big Think Capital. If you guys are curious about what Big Think Capital is or want to learn more about it, we have a couple of other videos on this channel that you guys can go check out. To give a brief summary, Big Think Capital essentially allows medium to small-sized businesses get business financing through a variety of different financial products. These include things like SBA loans, small business loans, and of course, business lines of credit. Today's specific video will be focusing on Big Think Capital's business line of credit feature and how you can get access to this and the best ways to go about doing that. We'll also be covering how to actually utilize this credit in the first place and the best things to do inside of your business the second you get access to it. Make sure to watch to the very end of this video so you understand the full step-by-step process and how to actually acquire this in the first place. Also, really quick, I'm going to show you guys how you can apply for this in the first place because the application process is super easy. The first thing you want to do is head down to the description below and click the link for Big Think Capital. Once you've clicked that link, you'll be brought to a page that looks like this. This is Big Think Capital's application page, and this is how you're going to send in your application to start applying for your business line of credit. The first thing you want to do is enter in your first name, your last name, and your business name. Once you've done that, you'll then enter in your phone number, your email address, and your street address as well. Once you've entered in your street address, your city, zip code, state, and country, you'll then move on to the business information section. For the business information section, you're going to select the age of your business. Now, the ages that you have to choose from are 0 to 6 months, 7 months to 1 year, 1 year to 2 years, 2 years to 3 years, and 3+ years. Once we filled out our business age, we'll then head down to the annual revenue section and fill out our annual revenue. For the annual revenue, they have options between $0 and $60,000 a year, $60,000 to $100,000 a year, $100,000 to $250,000 a year, $250,000 to $500,000 a year, and $500,000+ a year. Once we filled out the annual revenue section, we'll then move on to the average monthly revenue. Now, for average monthly revenue, we have options from $0 a month to $5,000 a month, $5,000 a month to $10,000 a month, $10,000 a month to $20,000 a month, $20,000 to $50,000 a month, $50,000 to $100,000 a month, and $100,000 a month and up. Once you filled out all of those sections, you'll then move on to this section where it'll ask you if you have a business bank account. More than likely you probably already do, but if you don't, you'll hit the no. And then at the very end, you'll fill out the requested amount of money that you want for your small business loan, business line of credit, or any of the financial products that you're applying for. And then you'll also detail a short summary of what you're going to use that money for inside of your business. Once you've done all of that, you'll then hit the I'm not a robot button, read this short little disclaimer, and then hit the submit button. Once you hit the submit button, a representative from Big Think Capital will reach out to you in a short amount of time and give you all the details and start going through the process of getting your funding. Now that we have a clear idea of how to actually apply for this in the first place, let's talk about the requirements and specifications that you need for your business and for your personal credit in order to actually get a business line of credit in the first place. Now, Big Think Capital has a few specific requirements, one of the main ones being that your business has to have been operational for at least 6 months. The 6-month operational requirement is pretty good considering the fact that a lot of other larger firms want your business to be established for 2+ years, which is a massive increase compared to this shorter time frame that Big Think Capital is operating with. Now, for the business line of credit, Big Think Capital only requires you to have at least $50,000 in annual revenue for your business. And again, that's revenue. We're not talking profit or expenses, purely revenue generated from your operations inside of your business. That might sound like a lot if you're just getting started, but if you're a small to medium-sized business, this is a super attainable goal. And it's one that most small businesses are already doing on a yearly basis. $50,000 is not that much money for a small to medium-sized business to generate. Now, when it comes to your actual credit score, this can be where some people might get tripped up. It's important to have a credit score around 600 to 700, but if you can get above that, you'll probably have a lot better likelihood of getting approved. That being said, though, Big Think Capital does have options for people with lower credit scores, so don't get discouraged if your credit score isn't as high as you'd like it to be. Now, when you actually go to apply for this business line of credit, you're going to need some necessary documentation alongside the actual requirements that we just talked about. Some of the things you'll definitely need for this whole application process is just your basic business information. These are things like your articles of organization, your LLC or organization structure, and of course, all of the basics like your business name, your tax identification number, and a host of other documents that you get when you actually form your business in the first place. Another really helpful thing to have on hand is about 6 months worth of bank statements. The reason they encourage you to have this is because if they have any further questions about recent financial trouble or potentially financial issues that happen inside of your company, you can answer those questions with relative ease by showing them the last 6 months of bank statements. Plus, if you're making a significant amount of revenue and it shows on those bank statements, it can be very helpful to show that to the loan officer you're working with. It'll also be a super helpful thing to have an updated version of your credit score and even potentially a credit report that gives you a full synopsis of what your credit score is and why it is the way it is. Now, one of the big benefits about utilizing Big Thing Capital is that you're not just necessarily taking a loan directly from them. Big Thing Capital essentially takes your application and sends it out to their massive network of lending partners and loan officers. What they'll do is they'll look over your application and see if they, as an institution, can give you money for your business. If they decide that they can, they'll reach back out to you and they'll start the process. If that institution decides that there's not really a place for you, it'll send your application down the line to a different institution that could potentially have a future spot for you. This is a great system because it allows you to have full access to a bunch of different financial institutions and have that much more likelihood of getting approved for business financing in the first place. Now, the main way you're going to learn about actually being approved in the first place is probably going to come in either the form of an email or a text alert if you sign up for them. The email will detail everything you'll need to know, and Big Thing Capital will help you move forward with that process. Now that we've covered the entire process of actually applying for the business line of credit, let's talk about how you can utilize it inside of your business. One of the most common ways that people utilize a business line of credit is with something called working capital. This is basically any type of expense inside of your business that you need to operate. We're talking about things like payroll, inventory, rent, and a host of other important expenses. These expenses can be offset or even paid down altogether with this business line of credit, oftentimes offering you a better rate than larger institutions would if you were in a pinch and you couldn't make these payments on time. Another great use for a business line of credit is through a business emergency fund. We all know that running a business can be incredibly stressful, and it's something that isn't always a guaranteed for sure thing. Because of this, it can be very important to have an emergency fund for your business so that way if anything goes wrong, you can always tap into a allocated set of funds that are always on standby, ready to be at your disposal. There's also plenty of growth opportunities that you can utilize with a business line of credit. You can utilize your business line of credit for things like marketing or growth initiatives inside of your business to actually grow your overall revenue and expand your operations. Now, just as a quick disclaimer, and obviously so that way you guys are aware, when you guys take out these types of financial instruments and utilize them inside of your business, it's important to make the payments on time and regularly. Big Thing Capital does offer minimum payments on most of their financial products, which means that as you're paying down the actual loan itself, you can make minimum payments on a monthly basis, which will help you pay down the overall amount. Keep in mind that there will be a little bit of interest charged here, which can vary depending on the rates. It's very important to regularly monitor the overall financial health of your business, especially the business line of credit that you're utilizing, so that way you're not overspending or over leveraging yourself. It's important to know these things, and it's important to be aware if you're over leveraging yourself and getting yourself into a bad situation that you won't be able to get out of. Always make sure that you have a proper risk tolerance when you're taking out money to actually use inside of your business, and never spend more money inside of your business than you can actually make back. In my opinion, Big Thing Capital is a great way for new or even medium-sized businesses to get started with financial instruments and specifically get loans for their specific business operations. They're a great firm that has a really high acceptance rate, and with their massive network of loan partners, it's never been easier to actually get access to funding. Because of this, we'd highly recommend using the link down in the description below to get started with Big Thing Capital to get your first set of funding for your business. Also, please keep in mind that some of these links are affiliate links, and we do get a small commission from every sign up, so thank you in advance for your support and obviously helping us grow this channel. Make sure to like the video and subscribe so you never miss any of the new videos that we post to this YouTube channel. Also, if you guys want to check out any of our other videos that we've made about Big Thing Capital, those will be linked on this video and in the description below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.